So let's make up an equation and solve it via factoring, and let's go with the quadratic formula. So I'm making this up on the spot, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. But let's say this was my equation and it was already factored. Well, to solve this, I would have 2x minus 6 equals 0 and x plus 5 equals 0. So, hey, I'm going to subtract 6 and then divide by 2. So x is 3 for the first one, and then x is going to equal negative 5 for the second one. Hey, those are a couple of solutions for me. If I were to FOIL this out and simplify, I would get 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x. Then negative 6 times x, which is negative 6x. And negative 6 times 5, which is negative 30. That's equals 0. Simplify the left side, and I get 2x squared plus 4x minus 30. So if I want to find the solutions for this, there's two ways I could approach this original problem here. So I'm going to delete all this stuff and just slide that up to the top. So let's say this was our original equation. I could use the quadratic formula for this, or in this case I could actually factor it, because this would have, this is factorable. Not all of them will be. The quadratic formula always works, which is what's really nice about it. So if I take out a 2 out of it, if I factor out a 2, I have 2x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. So from there, I want two numbers that multiply the negative 15 and then add up to be a positive 2. Then it's going to be a positive 5 and a negative 3, because 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and 5 plus a negative 3 is a positive 2. That's why I try not to speak when I'm writing. Start saying numbers, I'll write in what I'm saying instead of what I mean to write. So my solutions, as we already know, would be x equals negative 5 and x equals 3. Well, of course, that's what we already knew from before. Now, if we were going to use the quadratic formula for this original equation, and this is the same thing as like, hey, when will the ball hit the ground? That's the type of question. Like, hey, the position of the ball being thrown in the air is 2x squared plus 4x minus 30. That's not realistic because of the way the quadratic is shaped in this one, but just like, hey, when's this going to hit the ground? Just to go with that thought. These always go in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So you want to identify your a, b, and c first. So your a in this equation is 2, your b is 4, and your c is negative 30. And we're going to put those values into the quadratic equation pretty carefully. So I'm going to have negative b, so negative 4, plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times my a, which is 2, times my c, which is negative 30, all over 2 times my a, so 2 times 2. So I'm going to delete some of the stuff here on the right side, and we already know that my answer, is going to be negative 5 and 3 respectively. So let's put that to the side. So I need to simplify this equation. So 4 squared is 16, and negative 4 times 2 times 30. 4 times 2 is 8, times negative 30, so that's going to be a positive, I believe, 240 if my mental math is right. And I hope it is. All over 2 times 2, which is 4. Simplify the square root. 16 plus 240 is 256. all over 4. The square root of 256, I believe, is 16. So this is going to break down to be negative 4 plus or minus 16 over 4. And this will break up into two equations. One answer will be negative 4 minus 16 over 4. And if you solve that, you'll get negative 5, which shouldn't be a surprise, since that's what we got up here. And the other solution will be negative 4 plus 16, which is 12, and 12 over 4 is 3, which should not be a surprise, since that was this answer.